Great. I'm flying high. Just another dub. Just another Sunday for the birds. What's up? I am Bry with Eagles Real Talk, the flyest covering the Eagles on YouTube, and this is the post game pod. Burst the Green Bay Packers. We took it to him tonight. We ran all over him. I'm going to get into the nitty gritty in just a second, but can we just bask in this W? These W's that, we've just gotten. I don't want you to take these for granted is what I'm saying. We cannot take these wins for granted because, man, we're 10-1. I thought tonight was an impressive victory. I thought we could have played better on defense. I wasn't happy with the fumble. Fly Eagles fly on the road to victory. Yes, let's go. Let's go, Compact Glaciers. Let's go. Hey, but man, it just feels good to get this W, man, and I'm so excited. I am so excited. If you're excited, let me know in the comments. Tell me what was the highlight of the game for you. I'm gonna get into the stats and everything, but man, this was a fun game. We started off hot. We went up 14-0, picked off Rodgers, which, what's his name? Slay almost got his pick. He was so close. He was so close to getting his pick, but for whatever reason, he wasn't able to come down with it. The highlight was winning for sure. No, for sure. I agree with you, Glaciers. But yeah, tonight was a good night for the offense. Defense could have played a little better. We'll get more into that in the week, but let's bask in this ambiance of the W. Are y'all flying as high as me? This just feels good. We're the best team in the league. Hurts. Sweet hot chicken says hurts. Hurts does it. Let's go. It hurts so good. He put the team on his back yet again, man. He almost had 200 yards. If he wanted to, he could have had 200 tonight. That second half, he didn't have to run it as much. But let's see how many. He had 17 carries for 157 yards. He almost broke the record. That Fields just broke last week. So definitely, man. Definitely. What's up, man? What's up, man? I'm doing good. I am doing good. Thank you for joining me. So Hurts was obviously running all over him, but damn, can we talk about Miles? Miles is just, he's a beast this year. He is a damn beast. 143 yards exactly. 143 yards. I'm Mr. Wolf, Brian Wolf, that is. No, for real. This was an impressive win. To take it to him like that on the ground. For 143 yards on 21 carries, 2 touchdowns. Him and Hurts were just dynamic tonight. Not only were they dynamic, but they showed some strength. They showed a lot of power behind those runs. Those weren't just easy runs. Obviously, the O-line is just doing its thing this year. They are just doing their thing. From the pass protection to the run game, it's just superb. It really is superb. And I just want to shout out the offensive line. Kelsey, Lane Johnson, the best right tackle I think I've ever seen. Honestly, we can't take this offensive line for granted. Jordan Mailata, Dickerson, I just think they all showed up tonight in the best way. I think last time when we lost to the Commanders on Monday Night Football, that left something nasty in our mouths. You know what I mean? So this week we wanted to go out, establish the run, and put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. And just like that, we matched our 2017 record. Exactly, man. This team is better than the 2017 team. Do you agree with me on that? Let me know if you agree with me, if this team is better than the 2017 roster. I think I think from talent wise, from top to bottom, this team is just nasty, man. We got some dogs. It sucked to see CJ go down tonight. Hopefully he just bruised his ribs. Hopefully they're not broken, but he didn't come back. They never talked about it, so I'm gonna have to go around the internet and see what's going on with him a little later. But it looked like he definitely came down, or he took a shot to the ribs on that play. So R.I.P. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, his season may be done. I think his time in Green Bay may be done as well. I think he's headed to jeopardy. I think his time is done in the NFL. He doesn't want the smoke anymore. Just like the commentators were talking about tonight. The game has changed. The game has drastically changed. If you can't run and you can't make plays with your legs, it's a different beast for you. These guys are coming from all angles and they're a little faster. From the time that Aaron Rodgers started playing, almost 20 years ago to the time he is now, I think he would agree with the defensive linemen just being more athletic, more fast, just more, just better agility, man. They just be all over the place. So I think we may have seen the end of Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? If you've been watching my channel, you know how much I despise that dude, man. He's just one guy I just don't rock with. And to see how it went down tonight, if that is the end, oh man, that's going to be a memory I'll always remember, because he's had our number, in some big games in the past. And tonight was a big game. Maybe not so much for them. We did end their season, but for us, this was a very big game. We had to show up and show out tonight, and that's what we did. We showed up and we showed out. Let's talk about A.J. Brown, man. He only had 4 receptions and he had another fumble. I'm starting to get, is he healthy? Because he was dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. Is he healthy? Because he just doesn't look as explosive, as fast as he did the first 8 games of the season. So that's something we have to keep our eye on, because I know he has been banged up a little bit. So I'm not concerned, but it is, something that I noticed over the past couple weeks. He's not as explosive. But with that said, he still had a great game. He scored a touchdown besides the fumble. He had a good game. Smitty had some big catches tonight. I really love what Smitty's been doing over the past few games and throughout the season. But Quez is really showing up for the Birds. He's definitely he's looking to be more of an option. And I feel like because he's looking to be more of an option in the offense, because Dallas Goedert maybe is out, he is going a little bit harder. He's giving us extra effort, and I love to see it from Quez, because Quez is I think he's an underrated wide receiver, and I think if he was on another team, if he was a number 2 option on another team, I think he would be producing, a lot more than, him being on such a talented roster on the Eagles. But I thought he played great. But one thing we have to talk about, I love Watkins as well. One thing we have to talk about was Miles Sanders in the passing game. He had 3 catches for 17 yards, and it may seem like that's nothing, right? That's just a few catches, who cares? But for this offense to add that little bit of more dynamic, possessions to our overall possessions, I think that's just something that we have to continue to do. We have to continue to dump it off to Sanders more and see what he can do with the rock, because he's running hard as hell this year. He's running different, so we have to find ways to get him the ball a little bit more. And a lot of people were telling me this week that he's not going to get the ball that much. Aaron Jones is going to be the best back of the game, and this and that and the third. I don't know if they were reading the comments and they're like, let's shut these guys up or what, But man, they made it a focus to put Miles Sanders in all of the opportunities he can to make plays. You know what I mean? And I thought it changed the dynamic of our roster just by giving him a couple more looks than he usually would. He maybe gets one catch. Maybe they look at him one time in the passing game. But tonight to get 3 catches, I thought that was just a beautiful sight to see for the offense going forward. Calcaterra got in there. He got 1 catch. Gainwell got another catch as well. Let's get back to the run game, though. I agree with you in the comments. Miles Sanders was electric tonight. He was electric. You know, he came through at every moment we needed him to like bust through. He came through, and I'm just very impressed by the run game tonight. But with all seriousness, they couldn't have done that without the offensive line. You know, did you see Jason Kelce on some of these blocks? His athleticism. And let me say it correctly. His athleticism is unbelievable. It's rare. It's rare to see, you know, a guy that size at the center position pull like he does and just, you know, go around. Like his footwork is phenomenal. His athleticism is phenomenal. And man, I know this may be his last ride with the Eagles. So I'm really hoping we can end a Super Bowl and end his career with a Super Bowl. But man, he has impressed me all season. He's fought through some injuries. He's been tough. You know, he's going on 130-something games in a row. I think he's been, you know, such like maybe not the MVP of the team, but he's like the heart. He's like the heartbeat of the squad. And I just love what Jason Kelce's been doing. Let's talk about the defense now. Let me scroll down to the stats. Okay, so we said we lost CJ, right? We lost CJ early on in the game. And I was terrified for a minute. For a quick minute, I was like, whoa, hold on. You know, they got some explosive guys on offense, you know, Watson, and this could be bad for us. And then 3 or 4 plays later, Blankenship, you know, just shoots in there. Perfect interception. That stopped a very important drive. I think you guys need to remember, they were probably going to score a touchdown on that drive if he didn't make that play. That drastically changes the whole game. Then at the end of the game, we're closer. You see what I'm saying? Like if they would have scored a touchdown instead of, you know, instead of us picking the ball in that moment, that could have been a momentum changer. I think that changed the game. I think that was the biggest play of the game, by far the biggest play on defense. You know, I thought Blankenship, who we heard was performing well during training camp. You know, I thought he played solid in preseason, but to see him come in and play the way he did, exactly in the comments, pure game changer. He came through when we really needed him most, and we talked about this before. This squad, we won it with a lot of backups on the 2017. We're filled with underdog energy, and for this guy to come in next man up, just come in there and make a play, I was just. Man, I'm still impressed by that interception, man. You know, for a rookie, undrafted, who was fighting and clawing to make this roster, to come in there when we need him. We needed him in that moment. If Kayvon Wallace would have came in, that would have been all bad for us. You know, Kayvon is slow. He has very slow instincts. So to see this guy jump that route, man, Blankenship, you know, he could definitely be a steal for us, especially if he needs to play extended amount of time. I'm hoping and praying CJ comes back though, because man, he gives us a different type of safety back there. You know, he's a true ball hawk, and I hope he gets healthy fast. Reddick, he had a half sack. And then Graham had a half sack. But besides that, also Fletcher Cox with a big sack. That was a big sack. Hey, I think it's always hilarious whenever Fletcher gets a sack, right? And he does his army crawl and his point. The camera crew is always ready for that. Is it just me that always notices that? I'm just like, the camera crew, as soon as they see that Cox sack, That sounds funny. As soon as they see Fletcher get that sack, they are ready for that for that army crawl celebration. But yeah, you notice that too. No, for real. I think that's just funny how they always do that. I thought Hargrave had a pretty solid game. I thought he was getting some pressure. Epps had a couple big solo tackles as well. Kaiser White, man, he blew out what's his name's knee at the end of the game, or his thigh. Woo, that was a hard hit. Let me tell you, these guys are crazy, man. Football is crazy, man. These guys are faster, bigger, stronger than they ever have been, and it's crazy to see. The little kick they do after the sack is just yeah, I agree with you, Chris. No, that's definitely one of my favorite ones. That's Hargrave's special right there. Scott. Josiah Scott, he's a liability out there. I cannot wait to get Maddox back, man. Do you guys agree with me? I think he gave up a touchdown today. I don't know, man. Just something about Scott being back there makes me a little uneasy. But I think I think he only has a game or two left, and then he can return. Slay. So Slay had a couple good tackles. He had one, he defended that one pass that got intercepted at the beginning of the game. But yeah, he played lockdown today. I thought he was making good tackles tonight. I thought, he was making an emphasis to make tackles. We've had some issues. Let's be honest. We had some issues making some tackles in the past, but tonight I felt like they did a pretty good job. They got some pretty nice runners over there. Dylan was running hard as hell. Like I said, Kaiser White took out his thigh at the end of the game, but he was running hard. 8 carries for 64 yards and a tutty. So he was definitely running hard. And Aaron Jones kind of took a back seat to me after, we kind of stifled him at the line of scrimmage a couple times. I felt like, they stopped going to him as much. And, they were down, so they couldn't run it as much. But at the end of the day, it felt like Dylan, was their standout back tonight, which is kind of wild because everyone said that Aaron Jones was going to run all over us. Everybody said that Aaron Jones, and he had 12 carries for 43 yards. So stop that. Let's check out the comments. Knuckles Media wrote, Bradbury once again doing his thing. Man, Bradbury, like I say every time I go live, Howie deserves, he deserves a raise. He deserves his flowers. He deserves the GM of the year. He has had a very special year of finding the exact pieces to put on the board. Because this is chess. This is not checkers. A lot of people like to make quick moves and, hope for the best and this and that. But he made some very strategic moves this offseason. I feel like how he took a step back. He evaluated the holes in our offense and our defense better than he ever has. And he went out and he found the right pieces and he made the right deals. Let's be honest. He went out there and he wheeled and dealed and he got the trade for AJ, traded up for Jordan Davis, who I can't wait for Jordan Davis to get back. I'm going to definitely check in on his status going forward. I think he should be back in a week or two. I haven't heard much, so I'm thinking, a couple more weeks, but, I can't wait to get big Jordan Davis back. The comments, even though Jalen did complete only 57%, huge yardage plays made it feel like it was at least 70%. I agree with you on that. It felt like he passed for over 70% for sure. He made a lot of big chunk plays, but in the run game, when you're a quarterback and you run for 157 yards, you don't have to pass the ball that much. Let's be honest. He had 157 yards rushing, 153 yards passing, but he had two touchdowns. So what does that prove? He's staying efficient when we get in the red zone. All this team has to do is get to the red zone or even get near the red zone, and we're cashing in. We're cashing in every damn time because this offense is very efficient. They know when it's money time. There's one thing that I'm really starting to appreciate. This about Jalen Hurts' game is if he does not have a clear pass, he passes on it 8 out of the 10 times. And what does that do? Some people may say that's kind of playing it too safe, Brian. He needs to risk it more. But why? The best teams in the league don't turn over the ball as much. The best quarterbacks in the league don't turn over the ball as much. He has 15, 17 touchdowns with only 2 or 3 picks. One of them wasn't even his fault. So you have to, if you're still a critic of Jalen Hurts and he hasn't proved to you by now that not only does he protect the ball, but he can also make plays with his arm or his legs, I don't know what you're watching, man, because this guy is really showing me something. He's protecting the ball. He's not taking bad sacks. He's not, it's a scramble drill. He's running all over the place, and then he just, tries to, throw some crazy shit, and it looks like Josh Allen getting intercepted, leading the leagues in interceptions. Nah, he's going out there, he's protecting the ball, and it's something that I truly value from my quarterback, especially my franchise quarterback who's this young in his development. He's only 24 years old. He's only 24. We have our guy. We have our guy of the future. Some of these guys, some of these other teams are looking for the guy. They're hoping and praying that Lance on the 49ers becomes something, or Jordan Love becomes something. And yeah, Jordan Love looked nice tonight, but we didn't have time to prepare for him. I'm sure if we would have had a full week to prepare for this kid, we would have shut him down tonight. But yeah, he had the edge coming in the fourth. Especially that he's fresh. The team's been battling all game long, so I'm not too impressed by that Jordan Love, fourth quarter. And I hope you guys aren't as well, because it's not that spectacular. Excuse me. So if you're one of those guys who were, just blown away by his performance because he threw that touchdown against us and, looks solid, I think you really need to take a step back, because if we would have had time to, face him for fourth quarters, I guarantee you they wouldn't have had as many points as they did. They would not scored 33 points. In the comments, those 2 interceptions from the most goated QB not to make them. Wow. No, for real. I loved every second of this game. You guys have no idea how long I've been waiting for this game. As soon as I seen they were on our schedule, week 12, I circled it 18 times. I kept circling it every time. You know what I mean? Because this was the one team that everybody said we were going to lose to. Week 1, they said we were going to lose to them week 5 or 6 when we were evaluating the schedule, and they also said they could beat us this week. And I'm looking at this. I'm looking at them like, how are they going to beat us? How were you guys doubting us? So I hope, the doubt, goes away. And I also want to point this out, because a lot of people have been doubting the Eagles. They say our schedule was cupcake, right? So why are we the only team in the league, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, how would we have a cupcake schedule if we are the only team to beat teams with 8 or more wins? The Vikings and the Cowboys. They're not looking like they're complete frauds. They beat each other, and we beat the Vikings. The Vikings, from what I've seen, they're taking care of business. They just have a problem with the Cowboys and the Eagles. So I think people need to stop talking about we have a cupcake schedule. We haven't faced nobody, because we're the only team in the league to beat teams with 8 or more wins on their schedule. So I want that to shut down this week. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep talking about it on my channel, because not enough people bring it up. Yeah, dang right, I'm right. You know what I mean? So let's see what Jordan Love did. So he went 6 for 9 for 113 yards, 1 touchdown. I thought he looked solid. From what I've seen, I think he definitely has progressed in his progression. I thought from last season he looked, I was not impressed. But this year he definitely looked more poised. He looked like he had more control of the offense. So let's see what they do. They have to make a move on that contract to see what they're gonna do with him. I think he's on his 5th year option. So we'll see what happens in Green Bay. But for tonight, the Packers, they just could not get it done. And the Eagles moved to 10-1. Fly, Eagles, fly. Say it with me in the chat. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go, man. I'm pumped, man. This was a game that, like I said, I've really been looking forward to. I really have. Who impressed you the most this game? For me, it was Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, they're tied for offense. I thought they mirrored each other tonight. I just thought they were just, rolling off of each other's energy. They kept it going, all game long, and I was very, very, very impressed. So I'm gonna give those guys a tie for the most impressive players on offense. Now on defense, my most impressive player was Blankenship, man. To come in as a rookie, undrafted, and I don't even think he played maybe a snap or two all season, So for him to come in and intercept one of the GOATs, quote unquote, one of the GOATs, So I just thought that was one hell of a play, man. That is a play I will always remember from Blankenship. Blankenship could play on another team, or he could, go play in the Arena Football League in Canada next year. But I will always remember him for that play. That was one hell of an interception, man. So he gets the game ball for me. I thought Nick Sirianni, Shane, and even Gannon, I thought they had a pretty solid, formula tonight to stop the Packers. I think the main goal was to stop them on through the run game. So they ran for 107 yards total. I think I can live with that. I can live with them running for 107 yards. If you would have told me they were going to only run for 107 yards combined before the game, I'm like, oh, we're going to win. We're gonna definitely get the dub. So I was very impressed by the run defense. Yeah, did AJ Dillon did he go off on us for a couple big runs? Yeah, I think he had a 20-yard run. Yeah, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like we're not a perfect team. Nobody is perfect. Not one single team in the NFL is perfect. Even if we were 10-0, it's still not perfect. The record may show that you're perfect, but you're not perfect. In the NFL, it's any given Sunday or Monday, Thursday, or the occasional Saturday games. You know what I mean? You can anybody can beat each. It's a very parity type of league, and this year especially, there's a lot of parity. I feel like this year, like teams like the Lions, they're showing a lot of heart. There's some teams that are definitely, coming for, the bigger name teams' heads this year, and I love to see it. I definitely love to see it. Let's talk about the Commanders. The Commanders got a tight win tonight. I have them. If you haven't seen my record prediction, it's a short. Go check that out. It's also in another past video. So definitely go check that out. I have the Eagles finishing 15-2. I have the Cowboys finishing at 12-5, and I have the Commanders finishing at 10-7, and the Giants finishing at 9-8. I have the top three teams in the East making, the playoffs, which is crazy because they used to call us the least, and now we're the beast. But that's another video for another time. So how do you guys agree? What do you guys see in the schedule? So someone is saying 9-8, bro. What? Okay, so let me know. Have the Giants been looking good the past 4 or 5 weeks? No, they're trending down. The Eagles are definitely not going 10-7, my guy. They're definitely not going 10-7. Oh, okay, the Giants. Okay, I see what you're saying. You were confusing me. You're confusing me for a second. No, they're gonna go 9-8. So just stay tuned, man. They're nosediving on the scene. Daniel Jones doesn't have nobody to throw to. The run game, they're gonna start stacking the box in this cold weather and make Daniel Jones beat them, and they can't. So I'm definitely feeling like the Giants are gonna just nosedive pretty much the rest of the season. But they probably, they might beat us the last game of the season because we may rest, most of our guys, depending on where we're at in the on the record. If we have to play that game to get that home game, then obviously we're gonna go to New York and whoop their ass. But if it permits us sitting our guys, I think we're gonna sit our guys. It's a long season with that extra game at the end of the year. Might as well take it off, get some extra rest. I'm not worried about rust. I think this team, if we get that number 1 seed, I think they're gonna be poised to make a playoff run. They know it's only 2 games at home, and you're back in the bowl. You know what I mean? You're back in the bowl. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this team finish this year strong. We're 10-1, man. We are 10-1. God, it feels good. It feels good. I'm telling you why it feels extra good for me. I was on other channels. I said before the season we're going to go 15-2, and people thought I was nuts, man. They said, "What are you seeing in this team? What is it about this squad that you think they can win 15 games?" And we're only 5 wins away from that mark. So, I gotta give myself an old pat on the back. You feel me? Because I didn't see a lot of people with 12, 13 wins at most, when they were examining the roster preseason. So, I'm very ecstatic for not only, me being right, but for us to actually being at this position with 10 wins. This is going to be an amazing playoff run, and I hope you guys are strapped in, got your helmets, because it may be a bumpy ride at times, but I see something different in this team. I feel that during the 2017 run, I don't know if you guys felt it, but that team was special. You could tell they just genuinely loved each other. They genuinely loved to spend time with each other, and most of all, they loved to play and win with each other. You feel me? So I just thought that team had something special. We had the funnest celebrations that year. You know what I mean? It was just that team was just clicking. And yeah, we had some adversity and we overcame it. But I just think that team was so special. And now that I'm looking at this team, now that we know what it takes to win a Super Bowl, your team just can't. They have to be very talented, obviously, to get to the Super Bowl. They have to have, superstars, on offense and defense. But they have to have that chemistry, and we have that this year. We literally have it all. And I feel like this team is better than the 2017 team. I can't front. I can't lie. I got to keep it real. This is Eagles Real Talk. I just feel like that 2017 was great, but I feel like this team is better. And I can't wait to see how far we can get this year. And with that said, I'm going to wrap it up. Let's see how far this team can go. But right now, damn it, we're 10-1, and I'm happy as hell. We beat my biggest nemesis team, the Green Bay Packers. They always get us, man. And this year we got their ass, and I'm just really happy. Jalen Hurts took down a GOAT. I just wish Slay, big play, could have got his pick on Rodgers. Let's check out the comments real fast. Fly Eagles Fly on the road to victory. Fly Eagles Fly, score a touchdown. 1, 2, 3. Hit him low, hit him high, and watch our Eagles fly. Let's go, Fly Eagles Fly, baby. I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do a recap on the game. I got some other stuff coming down the pipe this week for Eagles Real Talk. Until then, I'm Bry, the Flyest, covering the Eagles on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Get down with ERT. We got a lot of videos, and make sure that if you're not plugged in on the channel like you should be, and when I say that, that means hit that notification button so you know when the videos drop, because I'm gonna be dropping a lot of shorts going forward as well. So it's just something quick. Open your phone. It's less than a minute, and you keep pushing. But until then, Fly Eagles Fly. Keep it real always. I'm Bry out. Peace. Let's go. 10-1.